My name is Jacky, and today I'll be showing you how to set up your config for Deadlock. First and foremost, go to Steam, right-click on Deadlock, click Properties, and go to Launch Options. Here you'll want to type -console, -dev, and -exec, autoexec. Next, go back to Steam, right-click on Deadlock, click Manage, and then browse local files. This will open up the directory that Deadlock is installed into. Click on Game, click on Citadel, and then double-click on CFG. Here, you can right-click to create a new text file and name it autoexec.cfg. So let's go over some of the commands you might want to put into your autoexec. Firstly, svcheats will allow you to use offline cheat commands when testing things out. On screen now is a movement alias duckbind that I've made that will allow you to separate jumping onto two inputs. Here I have spacebar for mantling, so it won't use any stamina but will allow you to climb over various objects, and mouse wheel down for the full jump. You could bind these to any keys that are easier for you, but having them separated like this will give you far greater control of your movement, meaning that you can jump when you want to and mantle without fear of burning stamina. Next, mouse sensitivity. Using both of the commands that are on screen, you can control your mouse sensitivity. With the zoom sense ratio that I've linked down below, you can have 1:1 sense, aiming down sight, and regularly. Remember, if you divide your Counter-Strike sense by 0.5, it will be accurate in Deadlock. Next up, let's have a look at frame rate commands. FPS max will control your maximum FPS cap, whereas the other two commands will control the frame rate cap inside of the UI. The command at the bottom will allow you to get better FPS. On screen now are some console shortcuts, alias binds that will allow you to type one letter to execute a full command in the console. Useful for speeding up a few basic things like disconnecting or getting status readouts. Recording settings is where it gets interesting. Here's some of the commands that I use on a regular basis to make my videos, so let's check them out. As you can see, HUD visible will allow you to turn the HUD on or off so that you can take nice screenshots or make movies without any visual clutter on your game. You can also lock the camera so that you can freely move your hero around whilst keeping the camera POV locked in place, which can be beneficial for various things. You can also use show pos to see what your velocity is and where exactly your crosshair is aiming at in terms of angles to line up repeat screenshots and check the speed of different heroes. Using host timescale, you can slow down time, allowing you to slow down the flow of the game whilst keeping sounds and frame rates at a speed that is consistent for making edits. Cycling through different speeds is also possible with the binds that I've listed below when you're in the spectating overview camera when viewing games. If you'd like to display unit IDs to see what everything is named as and where it's moving around the map, that's also possible. Next, let's discuss rates, as rates are an important part of the feel of Deadlock. Depending on your internet speed, you'll want to use a different rate, but remember it shouldn't exceed 80% of your internet bandwidth. If you have 8 megabytes of data to spare, then use the maximum rate as it will give you the smoothest gameplay experience. Otherwise, try out the others based on your internet speed and find what feels best for you. You can also toggle voice chat on or off with the simple press of a button. Next up, offline testing tools. Here's some more fun tools that you can use to test things offline when learning about Deadlock or testing out various things. On screen here, you can see that you can access the sandbox testing tool menu no matter where you are outside of the sandbox. Really useful to toggle this on or off. You can also toggle on no clip, allowing you to boundary break, check things outside of the map, or quickly reposition when practicing. If you want to know how much damage your character is doing, the DPS meter that's built into Deadlock is also very useful. You can toggle this on with the press of a button. Item spawning is the next category, and I find both of these to be the most useful things to spawn in when testing. You can bind Soul Urn to be spawned with one button, and Rejuvenator to be spawned on the other. I use this when making patch notice. Following on from that, NPC spawning is also done in a similar vein. So if you've ever wondered what these NPC camps look like up close and personal, now you can spawn them in and check it out to your heart's content, ranging from tier 1 to tier 2 to tier 3 jungle camps. Alongside that, they need their big boss, and you can spawn in the mid boss as well. Next up, you can also spawn in other hero bots with the simple press of a button if you'd like to use them to check damage. You've also got a command that will allow you to purchase items anywhere you are on the map, saving you from having to walk to a shop when testing out item builds offline. HUD telemetry. HUD telemetry will allow you to customize a whole bunch of commands that should hide various on-screen clutter, in a similar vein to the tooltip commands that will turn off various unneeded tooltips for repeat players. Lastly, this setting will control the nvidia reflex feature. Now you've got all your commands and can make your own config, remember to drop it off in the CFG folder and name it autoexec.cfg. This should then boot up when you open the game, but to execute it manually, go into Deadlock, open your console and type exec space autoexec. And there you go, you now have a working config for Deadlock. I've been your host Jacky, subscribe for even more Deadlock content here on Dead Air, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video.